back to Rodrigo here. So Rodrigo Torres, what are one of the number one misconceptions that you find when it comes to mold solutions, people's health in general? What's one of the biggest misnomers that you find?
I'll give you an example. This actually happened this morning on a call I took. A customer called in. She said, I've been dealing with mold toxicity. I started a protocol from a doctor who told me to do this. Holistic doctor said, do this and this and this, and you should feel better. She did blood work tests, and it did show, yes, you do have mold in your system. So she was not recovering at a speed that she was happy with. So the doctor said, well, you need to check out your house, right? And so I'll tell you one of the things that has come up, and it came up this morning in this conversation. She said, my husband, and it's a funny dynamic between husband and wife, right? He's the one usually saying it's not a big deal. He doesn't feel anything. He doesn't see anything. He doesn't necessarily agree with the cost and all that stuff, right? Yep. Sometimes that's that way. Sometimes it's not. But in this case, it was, right?
Do you find, generally speaking, sorry to interject.
Yeah, no.
It's an interesting topic for me because I'm in real estate, obviously, and I'm meeting with sellers and buyers and husbands. Why do you find that the majority of the time that opposites attract?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's true.
You normally have a balance there. It kind of equals out the household
totally
a lot
true.
of times. At least that's my
I've experienced that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And this was interesting because actually I experienced it twice in the last 24 hours where the husband, no big deal. You're overthinking this, and the wife is like, no, I perceive it, and my perceptions are always right, and it's definitely there, right?
Yeah.
And so he's obviously concerned about what this is going to cost, and she's like, it's health is more important for me and the kids,
Sure.
Anyways, but so she brought up a very interesting point that he was arguing, which was a misconception that I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Why is mold such a big deal in a home when we're surrounded by it outside, right? There's mold everywhere.
Yeah.
So how could it be mold making you sick if you're walking outside all the time and you're around it, right? And so the answer is, it's the same thing as pollution, right? If you have outside a car running and exhausting all that pollution, it's okay when you're outside. But if you had a car running in a garage, right, where it's too much in such a small condensed area, and you're breathing that in, where it's not meant to be there,
right? On.
It's too much.
All right, we got to get to the break here. Thank you for that, Rodrigo Torres, moldsolutions.com. More with Rodrigo coming up.